when did you start thinking like, hey, I might need to change the brand? Especially when there's so many, like our buddy Grant, Millennial Money. I saw somebody on Twitter, a Millennial Money woman the other day. Like there's a lot of like that Millennial Money thing. So you've gotten through that and that hasn't seemed to be a huge problem. So like when did you start feeling like, you know what, I need to maybe change this?
When I started hiring full-time employees, I started really thinking about it because I started to think about like, where is this going? When I started, I just wanted to write blog posts and make $100,000 a year and work by myself and sit in coffee shops all day. And I did all that and that was great. But like, once I decided like, I want to turn this into a real media company, and then I started hiring full-time employees. Then I was like, okay, there is an awkwardness about this where it's like, we want to go so much further than I can go by myself. And me being like the face of the brand and all of that, it isn't exactly what I want to do. I have no desire to like be a famous person really at all, because I just really don't I just don't care to do, like, I don't care about that.
Sure.
I like helping people. I like what we do. But when it comes to me thinking about like, okay, I'm going to go and, get paid to speak and I'm going to be away from my son. And I don't want to travel a lot for that type of work. And I've done a little bit of that stuff. Salesforce brought me out a couple times they flew me out to like Toronto and New York and stuff. And I remember just really disliking, this was actually before I had a kid. I was like, this isn't the life that I want. But yeah, so then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to become a bottleneck. The brand's just about me. It's going to slow the team down, all of that. So kind of what we've decided in the interim is like, we're probably going to rebrand at some point, or we keep Millennial Money Man as a portfolio brand. But what I did was I actually created a new LLC called Stellar Media Group. And so Stellar Media Group is the company that holds Millennial Money Man. But it might just be that Stellar Media Group is a holding company and Millennial Money Man is a portfolio brand underneath that. That might be the direction we go. I'm not sure on that. So it's either going to be a rebrand or it's going to be one of many brands that make up Stellar Media Group. But that pretty much, once I decided like, I want this to be bigger. I want this to be a larger brand, like something like a Penny Hoarder or a NerdWallet or whatever. Like, then I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense with me at the helm.
Yeah.
Or me as the face. And it's a hard URL for people can't spell millennial. So it's just hard for people.
Yeah, that's true. Did you ever think of like turning yourself into like a cartoon, like Monopoly?
No.
Like you could have is that a solution?
Actually it's funny. We're redesigning. We've been in a website rebuild for the better part of a year now. And the site's actually done for the most part. We've got some ancillary pages that need to be up, but from like a strategy standpoint, like an SEO strategy standpoint and all of that, we haven't released it yet. But one of the ideas was like to make me a cartoon character at some point. And I was kind of like, you know what? I don't want to go that far. Like I don't want to be the face of it, but I feel like putting cartoon people in is not where we need to go. But I might lose that battle. Who knows? It just depends on how far we go down that rabbit hole. But it's tough, man. It's just like, it's hard to know what the right thing to do is. But the reality is, even though we've had all these struggles of what should the name be and what should the brand be, at the end of the day, like the brand matters very little compared to the actual product and customers, what you do for people and what you sell. Like, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. It's like, we could hire a full-time employee to just work on brand and just work on all that stuff, but that is like a luxury item. Like, I'm very much in the mode right now, like, who can we hire that is going to have a direct impact on bottom line revenue for the company? So like, who can continue to expand our sales, continue to diversify revenue? Like, that's where I'm at. I think having a great brand and all of the creative stuff, like that is super important, but it's harder to tie a direct number to like the effectiveness of that on your bottom line. And I just think it doesn't matter very much in the grand scheme initially. It does when you want to get to a certain point and you want your brand to be like an attractive brand and you're trying to like seek an acquisition, and all of those things do matter down the road. But like when you're first starting, you just have to make good shit and sell good shit. Like that's all you have to do. Like that's your main focus. Like you've got to help people. Like you have to solve customers' problems. And if you do that, your branding could be whatever, and it could be non-existent.